Hi, I'm Megadizzy, from the channel known as Megadizzy, and if you even know who I am, you might be wondering. Well, if you don't know who I am, you might be wondering the same thing. What the hell are you doing on Z9 Lurker's channel? Have you committed identity theft and stolen their channel as part of that? And while, yes, I am committing identity theft, it's not, thieving Z-Nuts. And what I'm actually doing is that I am here to announce a contest of sorts. What I'm referring to is, of course, the first ever Make a Good NES Godzilla Creepypasta World contest. And if you don't immediately know what that means, well, have you ever heard of Make a Good Mega Man level? It was this contest hosted some years ago where people could create and develop their own Mega Man levels, and they would be judged in a contest, determined on how good they were. That's essentially what this contest is. Except, of course, with NES Godzilla. Creating your own, I suppose, text-written narration of whatever world you may create. Admittedly, I'm not really giving the best commentary over here, so allow me to describe the contest in more detail. Now, what making a world means is that you, the viewer, must try to create your very own chapter of NES Godzilla in the style of how they're usually written. Basically creating a documentation of the player's experience with a world not inside the original game, along with screenshots depicting the description from the player. I probably could have summarized that better, but if you're familiar with the original Creepypasta, Replay, or any of the fan continuations, you'll probably understand what to do. And if you don't, you should probably go watch or read one of those right now, since it might be a little awkward to make one if you aren't familiar. How you'll go about doing this is that for the actual documentation, you will create a Google Doc and set the share settings to anyone with a link. Trust me, that will be important later. And once again, if you're familiar with how the original Creepypasta, Replay, etc. are structured, then you probably understand what to do from my little short description there. Now, there are 3 links in the description, 2 of them being towards the rules and guidelines of this context, which, by the way, are relatively different things, and it's important that you read both of them before making a submission at all. And the 3rd link will lead you to the forum for a submission. Now, once again, because I really feel like I can't stress this enough, do not submit your world until you've read both of the pages detailing the rules and understand them, and because they are very, very critical to development. That being said, once you submit your world in the forum below, me, as well as a couple other judges, will review it and see how well you really did for what you're trying to accomplish. And, depending on how well your submission is received by these judges, your submission will be grouped into a tier, and the higher numbered the tier you're in, the better your story did. However, I do feel it's very important that I mention this in the video, that while both non-shitpost and shitpost entries are allowed, they will be judged in their own categories, as the 2 types of stories are far too different from each other to be judged as equals. With that said, I wish all people who are planning to participate in competition the utmost luck. You have until today, to December 10th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. and Pacific Time, to work on your entry. Once that deadline hits, no more submissions will be allowed, and you shall all be properly judged. Once again, I wish you all luck.